Welcome back to your live continuing coverage of Toy Fair 2015, the official Toy Fair coverage with the Toy Industry Association on BeTerrific. I'm Michael Artsis. Thanks so much for joining us. We have a very special guest. You know, here's the thing. There's play, there's toy, and then there's everything digital. So video games, tablets, apps, and there's a convergence on that, and we're going to be talking about that. And of course, Digital Kids Media is a partner of the TIA, and Tonda Bunge Sellers is here, and she is here to talk to us about Digital Kids. First of all, what did you race here in a chopper from JFK? I think you just landed. You've been traveling all day from Texas. Texas in the house, Houston. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And tell me about Digital Kids.
So Digital Kids is a event, it's a conference outside of Toy Fair that we partner with the TIA, and we produce a 3-day series of events. We focus on education tomorrow on Sunday, and then on Monday and Tuesday we focus a little bit more on the entertainment and the convergence into education from a digital perspective. So anything that reaches your kids' hands that is digital, you need to come to Toy Fair as well as Digital Kids and discuss the business side behind it.
You know, Toy Fair is really an amazing event. It's unbelievable. We're so proud to be a partner. We're so proud to be here and excited about it. I think we've brought some great content. But digital is what we are in. It's what we're doing. We also are video gamers. We love using our tablets too for gaming. We also love the educational aspects of it. And of course, we're content producers, so we get all of that as well. And I think it's so important to really talk about the digital aspects of our kids' lives, how to protect them, how to keep them safe, how to also give them great content, and also have them be able to learn, have fun, and of course, do STEM, right? Science, technology, engineering, and math. So can you talk about kind of all those different aspects? Because there are a lot. That's what I guess why it's its own kind of convention.
It is, definitely. So we basically bring the developers from the video game space as well as brand developers from the toy space, and we bring them together into one room so that they can discuss the business behind creating items for STEM. Actually, most of our program tomorrow is focused heavily on STEM, and we have some great people. Jocelyn from Hopscotch, which is an app that teaches kids how to code with just putting blocks together.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I love that idea, and I love the idea of teaching kids how to code, because I really see coding as a language, and they say that learning a language is the easiest when you're a kid. So if that's the case, then the reality is we should be teaching them at a young age, and they can get it.
Definitely, as well as we have other people. We have a gentleman named Raul Gutierrez that is not only an app developer but an amazing entrepreneur who has a group called Tiny Bop, and they have apps that teach kids about simple things in life as the human body, as well as how your house works, whether you live in Brooklyn or you live in Switzerland. And it's very not only multi-generational, which we will discuss on our end at Digital Kids, the play aspects of having grandparents and kids and parents all play together, even on one component. We have Intel coming, talking about their all-in-one unit, so 2 people can play on a tablet, or 4 people. There's a new convergence.
I think it's amazing. I think next year we definitely have to be there as well. I think that would be great. At least we know who to talk to now, right?
Definitely.
And the thing is, like, even when you think about it, everything's going digital, home automation, all this stuff that's coming to the mainstream. Home automation's been around a while, but it's important for the kids to know about this, learn how to be able to do it at an early age so that they can work in the space, so they can create and innovate as they get older, but also so they know how to use the technology. And it's all, I think, digital. I love, though, when you put the digital aspects together with the analog aspects, like an action figure that can now move or be moved or whatever with you know, a tablet or a phone or whatever it is, and you have convergence. And I also love, like, how you said about grandparents and parents. You know, we're setting up here. We've been working late hours a lot this week. I don't live far from the Jacob K. Javits Center, but I was able to FaceTime with my son last night.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and we were able to see each other, which is a whole different experience, and you know, something we've seen great strides in also with presence with these big things that you can maybe makes people feel like there's a real person there because they're taller and more lifelike. But I think that it's so important to really get this right for kids, and that there is a convergence, especially with the toys.
What's amazing right now is what we're seeing is people not just putting the two components together, because there have been connected toys for a while, but what we're seeing really amazing things happening now, and people behind the scenes can't talk about everything I know about working with digital kids, but there's organizations that are large publishers and different brands that are actually working behind the scenes nowadays to bring those items together, whether it be Disney or Skylanders from Activision. There's many more coming down the road that are going to be just as amazing or more so.
What is out now that you can talk about that is the most mind-numbing to you, that is like, wow, this is unbelievable, I can't believe this?
Well, I have a 4 and a 3-year-old little testers at home, and so what amazes me, and I think why Toy Fair and Digital Kids is a good partnership, because there's so much brand exposure at Toy Fair that I'm learning. Even my 3-year-old can look at my phone and tell me what she wants by recognizing the brand. And so that's very important to the digital world, and I don't know if the digital world has as much of a grasp on that as the toy industry. And then we can bring to the toy industry the convergence. On the education side, I think the wow is really STEM.
How were you able to get together with the toy industry? I mean, they're a very welcoming organization, but I mean, how did you say this would be a great idea? We should get together with TIA and partner.
I have to credit that to our founder and CEO, Chris Sherman, who is an amazing entrepreneur, and he's always forward thinking. We came from the video game business, and then we delved into virtual worlds in 2007 and produced the first virtual world conference in the US, and then took it to London. And we realized that we were kind of pigeonholing ourselves in 2008 and decided that we would broaden it to engage. And when we were engaged, we noticed that there were a lot of people. We did this event here. We noticed that there was a lot of crossover, he did, from the toy industry. So he decided to take that conversation to the toy industry, and they were very welcoming, and we've been their partner now for 5 years.
And how did you get involved with Digital Kids?
I jumped out of politics in 2006 and went into the video game business because there's
What were you doing in politics?
events.
Really?
Yes.
Who are some of the politicians you worked with?
I worked with President George Bush at one
Wow.
point, and
Wait, which one? W?
Rick Perry. Yes. Yes.
And
Governor
Rick Perry.
And Governor Perry.
Okay.
I actually met Governor Perry in his office when he became governor.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Very nice.
Yeah,
and
it was fun, but I'm glad to be here. This
and
is a lot
W
more fun.
when he was president or before?
No, before, when he was
Before,
governor.
governor.
When he was governor.
Sure. And did you know, like, this guy's going to be president? Did you have any idea? Some people
No,
say
but he
they
has an
always
amazing,
knew.
charismatic presence. Like when he walks in the room, he's definitely a rock star.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I would
even
never.
then. Yeah.
See, Bill Clinton, I might get that. I might say he's a rock star. That's the feeling I get from Bill. I never got that from W.
Well, maybe it's just my Texas roots. It's the Texas air or something. But definitely
Very
when he
interesting.
walked in a room, you could feel the presence.
I've met HW.
Okay.
And definitely there was a presence there.
Yes,
I'm
sure.
And yeah, but he's
haven't
also
had
at
that
that point he's a
opportunity.
former president,
Right.
not a
Right.
governor. So
right.
it was
Well,
interesting.
and he was
yeah.
much a leader before that as well.
Right.
So right.
Very, very interesting. And then what did you say? Okay, enough of this. I got to get into this stuff.
I actually
digital.
knew someone that knew Chris Sherman, and I had kind of confidentially told her that I was trying to figure out what to do next, and he was looking for someone to help him with his events. And so I jumped ship, made a phone call to my husband and said, hey, I think I'm going to go into the video game business. And he said, there's more money there than there is the movies. And that wasn't really what drove me, but it helped me see what was to come.
It is true, and we talk about this all the time, that, I've got a nephew. His name is Daniel. He's ranked in the top 7,000 in the world in FIFA.
Okay.
EA's game,
Okay.
FIFA
Right.
worldwide, right?
Right.
I mean, that's pretty good for a 15-year-old
Right.
to be ranked
Right.
in the top 7,000.
Right.
And his parents want him to stop playing and stop playing so much. Yet there's a whole career path there for him, whether he maybe could be a professional video gamer.
Just lamb.
Maybe he
right.
could design games. Maybe he could work in the industry, and I think people don't necessarily realize that. Plus, he's learning a lot of great things, and you're communicating with people all around the world when you're playing in this way. So it's such an amazing and fascinating space to me in general, and yes, it does generate more than the movie business right now. These titles are generating more, and so it's really cool.
There are so many tools out there, video game creation, video groups. I'm trying to think. I'm blanking on organizations, but there's many organizations out there, and many of our speakers at Digital Kids for our Toys Learning and Play Summit that are actually taking the technology from the video game space and putting it into the classroom or putting it into your living room for a learning component. And I do believe that children of tomorrow will not only have the opportunity to learn through fun and play as they do with traditional toys, that they'll be able to do that as well with video games and continue. And they already do, but it's going to even be more so.
I'm so impressed that you're here and so honored that you're here, because your event starts in 20 hours and 19 seconds. Of course, when the viewers, we're recording this because unfortunately you were delayed coming from JFK, so when the viewers watch this, you'll be on already. But you're here 20 hours away from your event, and you didn't race to your event, you raced here to us. You're not at your event freaking out, which means you planned well. I guess that means you do your job well. 19 hours, 59 minutes, and 53 seconds. That you planned well, and that you are, but you're here, and I'm honored by that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
coming.
coming.
It's been an honor as well.
I think it's really interesting. I think you bring up some really good points, and I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. I'm glad that you've partnered and co-located with Toy Fair.
Thank you.
I think that it's just a great industry, and I see it only growing.
Definitely.
And I think you know, the way you can bring it into education, and you talk about bringing it into education, and the technology from it to education is phenomenal. It really, really is. So thank you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
How do people find out about it? They just go to digitalkidscon.com?
Yes, that will actually take you to our front page, and you can kind of see the lineup of speakers. There's about 70 speakers over the course of the 3 days. We have Anki Drive. I don't know if you're familiar with Anki.
Of course, we talked about it earlier with Carter, who is Carter Keithley, who is the president of the TIA.
Yes.
I've never played with this thing yet, but I want to play with it so badly. It is the coolest thing, I think. It's slot cars without the slot part of the track, controlled by your phone, and you can fire things at friends and do all sorts of.
It's a video game. It's a SD kit for software. It's amazing.
It's what we're talking about. It's what we talked about in the beginning. It is the convergence. It is a toy converging digitally, and I mean, it's just mind-blowing. You're playing a video game at the same time you're playing with a physical toy.
And they can actually consider that STEM as well because of the robotics factor.
Which is why I need to take one home to my 21-month-old, right? He definitely needs it.
Definitely. Well, they've actually changed their target.
Yeah.
They were telling me that you know, that the marketing and growing, and that's why brands need to come to Digital Kids, is because you can learn lessons from people like Anki that are beginners in the space, as well as folks like Disney. We have Disney also as one of our keynotes.
That's amazing.
The next day, talking about how they're growing and building their educational
Education is so important. I think we're finally starting to realize that, and how we can get education into play, make it fun, and especially do it digitally. It's really this nice convergence. It's almost like the best time to be a kid.
We have a panel called Learning as Entertainment, and the editor-in-chief of Parent Magazine is the moderator, and we've brought together Nickelodeon, an entrepreneur called IntelliJoy, and basically they're going to be and Sesame Street, and they're going to actually be discussing that how we don't need to silo education and fun from children on digital. We don't with toys. They learn through toy and they learn through play, but we have siloed it in the digital space, and now we're working on breaking that mold.
Very cool. Tonda, thank you so much
Thank
for your
you.
time. I really appreciate
Thank
it. You were
you.
phenomenal,
Oh,
really
thanks.
interesting. DigitalKidsCon.com. Find out about it now.
Definitely.
Get involved for next year, or come down if you
Yes.
still can. Are there
we
tickets
still-
available?
Yes, there are tickets available.
Yeah.
Hall 1E in front of room E15 and 16. We'll have registration desk up tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Right now you can go online and register.
Great. That's Tonda. She's amazing. It's digitalkidscon.com. It's a great topic. It's something we're very excited about, and of course we're just excited about the entire space converging together in general. All right, I'm Michael Artsis. We'll be back with a whole lot more on your live continuing Toy Fair coverage, the official Toy Fair coverage with the TIA, the Toy Industry Association, on BeTerrific. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.